Are you looking for ways to get 5-star reviews for your Airbnb? Or more referrals and repeat guests who want to stay at your vacation home? Excellent. So today we're going to talk about how to create an amazing guest experience that will have your visitors raving about your place for weeks, maybe even months to come. First things first. Let's talk about why creating fantastic experiences for your guests is so crucial. Of course, you want to make a little extra cash by renting out your space, or you're in this for business, so of course you want to bring in the money. But if you want to make a lasting impression and get those 5-star reviews, you've got to go the extra mile. After all, there are plenty of other Airbnb listings out there that guests could book, There's so much competition. The one thing that's going to set your Airbnb apart is the guest experience. So you've got to go all out and create an amazing guest experience for your guests when they come to your property. Let's jump right in. Here are 6 tips to help you create an amazing guest experience. Number 1, communication is key. Communication with your guests is so important. From the moment your guests book your place, you should be available to answer any questions they might have. Make sure to provide clear instructions on how to check in, how to use the amenities in your place, and what to do in case of an emergency. A great way to do this is by sharing a digital guest welcome book with your visitors, as they can read all the need-to-know information about your property. Guest welcome books are a great way to deal with frequently asked questions that Airbnb guests normally have. So you don't have to spend hours replying to back and forth emails or chats, especially on basic information, because a guest welcome book communicates all that for you. I've linked an easily customizable guest welcome book in the description box below for you to check out. Although welcome books are a great way of communicating with your guests, you need to keep in mind that nobody wants to read a long, boring manual. So why not add a little humor to your guest welcome book? For example, if you have a tricky lock on your door, you could say something like, "Don't worry, our lock might be a little moody sometimes, but just give it a little jiggle and it will open like magic." Make a great first impression. Let's talk about the actual space. You know what they say. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Your guests are paying to stay in your place, so you want to make sure they feel comfortable and welcome. When your guests arrive, make sure everything is clean and tidy and welcoming, but don't stop there. Add some personal touches to make sure your visitors feel at home. For instance, you could leave a note on the bedside table, welcoming them and wishing them a pleasant stay, or even a small gift. You could also provide some snacks or drinks to give them a little pick-me-up after their travels. In my experience as a host, I've also found that scenting the living space prior to the arrival of your guests works wonders. I recommend using subtle, calming aromatherapy scents like lavender. You want to avoid anything that's too strong and overpowering, because the last thing you want is your guests coughing and sneezing. Or, the worst of it, is suffering allergic reactions because of some cheap, nasty scent. Remember, it's all about creating memorable experiences for your guests the moment they walk into the room. Number 3. Tasteful decor and ambience. Another thing that can make a huge difference is the decor in your living space. You don't have to be an interior designer to create a cozy, inviting space. You don't even need a huge budget to create a warm ambience in your house. Some simple touches, like adding some plants, a mix of well-chosen, comfy cushions, throws, or displaying some art on the walls can make a big impact. And don't forget about the lighting. Warm and soft light can make all the difference in creating a relaxing ambience in the living spaces of your property. Number 4, pay attention to the details. If you want to create the best experiences for your guests, it's the little things you do that make all the difference in getting you those 5-star reviews and guest referrals, repeat guests, all that. It's the little details. Guests always notice the little things you do for them. So it's important to pay attention to the details in your Airbnb living space. Make sure they have everything they need to be comfortable and feel at home. This is really important, and what that means is doing things like the following: providing fresh linens and plenty of towels, having enough toiletries like shampoo and soap, placing ashtrays in convenient spots for people who smoke, leaving out extra blankets for cold nights, and a few books or magazines, putting out some snacks, complimentary drinks, and plenty of drinking water, providing a clean pair of house slippers for your guests to use in the bathroom and for indoor use. I actually found a bulk supplier from China who supplies me with soft, simple, disposable indoor slippers that my guests love. It's all about anticipating your guests' needs and making sure they have a really comfortable, stress-free stay. Number 5, offer local recommendations. Let's talk about the overall experience that you want your guests to have. They're not just looking for a place to sleep. Quite often, guests also want to have a local experience. They want to experience the city or the town they're visiting. So why not provide them with some insider tips? This could be anything like a great local restaurant, a cafe, a club, or any other local attraction that's in your area. You could also leave a note with some recommendations on things that they could do and places to visit. If you're passionate and enthusiastic about your city or town, your guests will be too. But why stop there? Why not organize a little welcome party or a fun activity for your guests when they arrive? Alternatively, you could even organize farewell drinks or a nice dinner. A farewell dinner or drinks is a really nice gesture for visitors who are leaving, especially if they've been at your place for a long time. This will not only make them feel special, but it's also a great way to connect with them and make new friends. Tip number 6, be flexible. Remember, your guests are on vacation or maybe a business trip. They might have different schedules or needs than what you are used to. As an Airbnb host, it's important to be flexible and accommodating. If your guests need to check in early or check out late, do your best to make it happen without making them feel like they're an inconvenience to you. If they have a special request, try to accommodate them. And if something goes wrong, like the Wi-Fi goes out or the electricity gets cut off, be quick to address the issue and offer alternatives, offer support, offer solutions. Lastly, ask for feedback. Your guests' opinions and feedback are really valuable in improving your hosting skills. You could leave a note asking them to leave a review for you, or you could ask them in person if there's anything you could have done better. Not only will this help you improve, but it will also show your guests that you value their opinions and care about their experience. So there you have it, 6 tips for creating an amazing guest experience that will leave your Airbnb guests feeling happy, satisfied, eager to come back again, and even refer other guests to your Airbnb. I would love to hear from you about what you've tried and how it went in your experience as an Airbnb host.